Hey, welcome to Amefrica. Amefrica. Hey, you want to cheer to this, man?
Of course, of course,
I
of
want to
course.
cheer. Woohoo!
Cheers.
All right, guys.
Episode number one.
Episode number one. Like, very, very best beginning. All right, guys. So, we want to welcome you to this podcast. This platform is called Amefrica. How did Amefrica come about? I know we've already made a small introduction about it, but Amefrica is a place where we decided to create. We decided to create a great platform, like a bridge, that will unite guys from Africa and guys from America.
In the best way.
We blend it like this.
Yeah.
The best way.
In the best way.
In the best way. So, my name is Pascal Bisimwa, as you well know, B-Spas. And you just introduce yourself.
My name is Stephen Black.
Yes, sir. What?
Stephen Black.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, you're my brother.
I have the fun last name, brother. I have the great last name that goes along with this.
Man.
But yeah.
You know what? You never come across with people like you. Just like that.
Yeah.
Imagine if I said I'm B-Spas White.
Yeah.
And then you're Stephen Black.
Hey. I used to get made fun of all the time in school.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, all the substitute teachers, they'd be calling roll, and they'd be like Stephen Black, and then I'd say here, and they're like, but you're white. Yeah, very funny. Yeah, haven't heard that one 1,000 times. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of special.
Yeah.
Tell me something about yourself.
About myself.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah, tell me something about yourself. Okay.
Well, I hail from the good old California,
Okay.
born and raised there.
Good.
And I joined the military at 17,
Oh, great.
which we'll get into a little bit later.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, no, what brought me to the beautiful state of Idaho was I was getting out of the military and I had a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite place in the world is Alaska,
Great.
believe it or not.
Wow.
And
Alaska is very cold.
Oh, but it's so beautiful, man. It's so great. Alaska's wonderful. And so I wanted...
I understand it's dark there every time.
No, so it depends on where you're at in the state. So the further north you go in the winter, it could be dark all the time, yeah. But like I was down in the Anchorage area.
Okay.
And yeah, so it didn't really get dark too much. I mean, we probably saw like 3 to 6 hours of daylight in the winter, which was kind of depressing. Don't get me wrong. But in the summertime, man, it's I don't know. It's just my favorite place. So when I was getting out of the military, I wanted to find a place that was like Alaska, and I found Idaho. And,
great.
And I found you.
The state of potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How did you find yourself here?
Hey, just, trying to find a place that was similar to Alaska as far as ideals and beliefs and the type of people, really. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was in Alaska, I was getting onto the freeway one day and my car started spinning out because it was icy, right?
Oh, okay.
And so my car started spinning out just getting onto the freeway.
Yeah.
And before my car even stopped spinning,
yeah,
there was a dude already out of his car sprinting to me to make sure I was okay. I'm not joking. Yeah, like
you don't see that everywhere.
Like what? Yeah, right. But there were 6 cars stopped.
Yeah,
for me just spinning out. I didn't crash.
Yeah,
I didn't hit anything. I just spun out getting on the freeway.
Wow.
And there were 6 cars that stopped, and that just showed me like. That's where I want to be, right? Like, that's the kind of people I want to be around. Like, the type of people that if it's -60, they'll give you the shirt off their back, and they'll freeze themselves if it means you're going to be okay, right?
Yeah.
And so I found Idaho.
Idaho it is!
Very similar. Hey!
Well,
Idaho's very similar. So, yeah.
Actually, Idaho is not well talked about everywhere.
No.
And you'll be shocked some of people in the US
Yeah.
don't even know where Idaho is.
No.
They don't know Idaho.
No, they don't. They don't. They have no idea.
Let me tell you, I'll tell you an experience.
Okay.
My own experience.
Yeah.
Like, well, I come from the Congo.
Yeah.
A place called Bukavu
Okay.
in the eastern part of Congo.
Okay.
This place has been well crushed with a lot of war, instability, and all that. A lot of atrocities.
Sure.
A lot of crazy
Yeah.
anything that
Yeah,
we can imagine.
absolutely.
But you know what? I managed to get out of there in 2005.
Yeah.
I was still a little boy. And then I started my journey looking for safety.
Sure.
And I went to another country called Uganda. And in Uganda, I lived in Kampala.
Okay.
Yeah, Kampala is a crazy city. It's a big city.
Okay.
Not so big, but it's a complex city.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know anything about that place, you'll be lost.
Oh, interesting.
But once you start getting used to it, you start understanding what Kampala is.
Sure.
And, well, I spent a lot of time in Kampala.
Okay.
And, well, I also went to a refugee camp in Uganda.
Yeah.
It's called Nakivale.
Okay.
Nakivale refugee camp. It's in the southeastern part of Uganda. And then right after that, I got a chance to be selected, single-handedly selected, to come to the United States.
Isn't that just a crazy process?
It's a crazy process.
Isn't that just a wild process?
It's a crazy, wild process. It took me 12 years.
Oh my gosh.
Through that process.
12
years.
Okay. All right. So,
and all that process is like you're locked. Your mind is locked in a single cell. So you have no way out.
I want to hear a little bit more. I want to hear a little bit deeper, Pascal. I gotta hear your whole process, because this sounds so intriguing. This is something that I know I want to hear a lot about. I know everyone else wants to hear a lot about. So let's start. Where were you born? And let's work from there.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for taking me back.
Yeah. Let's go there.
I was born in Bukavu.
Okay. Tell me about Bukavu.
In early 90s. I mean early 80s.
Okay. What's it like there?
Oh, it's a big town.
Okay.
Well, it's not well developed because there's a lot of uncontrolled construction. And like there's no much order. And people just build wherever they find space. And it's a crazy place. Actually, I'll take you there.
Okay.
I'll take you there so that
I'd love to see it. Yeah.
We can have
a little perspective. Yeah.
I'll take you where I'm from.
Yeah. So how was it like when you were just, from your earliest memories? What was that like?
Yeah. So there it was like a good environment.
Okay.
Very good environment until when there's another country that is close to us.
Okay.
It's called Rwanda.
Okay.
So Rwanda had a crazy turmoil.
Okay.
A civil
war, yeah,
and genocide and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So these guys, when all that was happening,
yeah,
so part of their population crossed over to the Congo.
Okay.
So when they crossed over to the Congo, and then they had a lot of fights. Both of them were fighting. They had two big opposing sides, the Tutsis and the Hutus.
Okay.
And all of them were crazy fighting, like crazy.
Yeah.
So now some crossed over.
Okay.
To the Congo, and then another group came following the guys that crossed over.
Okay.
To the Congo, and that brought war to the Congo side.
I see.
And all that created a big chaos.
When was that?
This was in 1994.
Okay.
From 1994, then it started escalating to 96, 97, until
Yeah.
when the government in Congo changed.
Yeah.
And then all that big change in the Congo up to, it took like 17 to 18 years with a guy leading the Congo, and he was part of these crazy movements and all that kind of stuff. So it was too much, you know. It was too much, but you know what? We experienced all that.
Sure.
We experienced all that. We lived that war.
So how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have right now I have 8.
8.
We used to have 9 in our family,
Okay.
but I lost a sister
Sorry.
in that time, in that
In that
crazy
time,
turmoil. Yeah. So and that was our firstborn.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I lost my parents during that same time too.
How was that?
It was crazy. It was crazy. That's a story for another day.
Okay.
Yeah. But let me tell you, so all that kind of stuff
Sure.
made us just escape from
Sure.
the country and ran away for safety.
How was the education? Did you
Uh,
go to
yeah, we used to go to school.
school?
Yeah, we used to go to
Yeah.
school. I did my elementary there,
Yeah.
and then my secondary
Yeah.
school. I have friends and families
Sure.
who still recall
Yeah.
when they saw me when I was still young doing my secondary school there, like
Okay.
high school here.
Yeah.
And then we ran away before we could even complete everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so and we found ourselves in different countries.
Hey.
And believe me, oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a crazy journey.
Right.
So in Uganda, we spent a long time there trying to figure out what to do because it's a different country and it's a foreign country.
Sure.
There's nothing much you can do there because you're not a native.
Yeah.
And but I had so many beautiful people in Uganda,
Yeah.
close friends
The language spoken?
who really helped me out, and they taught me the language.
So it was a different language.
Oh yeah, oh
So you had to learn yet another language.
yeah, I had to learn another language.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many languages did you know before you got to Uganda? Or Rwanda, sorry.
Uganda.
Or
let's
Uganda,
say.
Uganda. Yeah.
So I knew like 4 languages.
So you already knew 4.
4.
Okay. And then when you got there, you had to learn how
I
many
had to
more?
learn another 2.
Another 2.
And then actually originally
Okay.
I knew 4.
Okay.
I learned 2.
Okay.
And then English.
English.
That was a number of languages already. Yeah.
I know 1. And I don't know it well.
You're cheating me right now. You're cheating me.
Hey, I'm just pointing something out here, okay? Like I'm just pointing something out.
Yeah.
You know several languages. You are very well traveled, right? Tell me more about the process. So once you got to Uganda and you went to the camp, what was that like? And what was the process like trying to apply to get to the U.S.? How did that roll out?
Thank you for that question.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna take a sip.
Hey, take a sip. Take a sip. But I'm curious. These are things that I know people want to know.
You know what? People should not misunderstand
Yeah.
how people come about to be who they are
100%.
today. Because let me tell you, it's a big journey. It's a big process. Especially for us who really wanted to come to the United States.
Yeah.
Very legally.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to jump anything. We didn't want to jump ropes. We didn't want to jump bridges or maybe those barriers they put in the South.
I think that hits a little hard for some people here. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We saw Trump
Yeah.
was building that wall
Yeah.
in the South.
Sure.
And then we saw some guys created a big ladder
Yeah.
to climb that wall.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
So what was it? Regardless of how ridiculous the process has become,
Yeah.
what was it like for you? What did you have to go through? So you get to a camp and then you apply at the camp, correct?
Yeah. So you gotta go through a lot of vetting,
Okay.
and then they gotta go through a lot of scrutinization,
Of course.
and then you gotta go through a lot of interviews,
Yeah.
and then you gotta go through a lot of medical checks,
Yeah.
making sure you're not bringing any disease to the United States. So, but
That's important, huh?
yeah, believe me,
Really?
before that period can happen
Sure.
for you to do the medical checks and all that kind of stuff, you go through a lot of scrutiny. And that
Yeah.
scrutiny goes for years.
Yeah.
Years.
What?
Some people wait for
Tell me about it.
more than 10 years.
I mean, you said 12 years.
Yes.
So
It's crazy. Because, every year you go, they tell you, okay, they interview you, they go through everything, your case, everything is good. And they tell you, you know what? We're going to call you. And then they don't call you. Then you wait for another year. They call you another year, and they're like, okay, we're going through your case. We see there's nothing wrong with your case, but we're going to call you. And then that keeps happening on and on and on and on. So for you, you become so demoralized.
Sure.
So you mess up. I know so many people who really messed up big time, and they've really messed. They missed the opportunity to come to the United States.
Sure.
Because they messed up big time.
I mean, what? Who wouldn't get demoralized after years and years and years of waiting?
And some other people just gave up.
Yeah.
They were like, you know what, this is it. This is not what I would do.
Yeah.
And most other people are the ones you see dying in the Mediterranean Sea.
Sure.
Trying to cross to Europe.
Yeah.
Because they just want to get out of that situation.
Yeah.
And they do whatever they can to get out. So, when we hear how politicized the immigration is here in America, we always say, I wish some people can pay attention to what happens in other countries before those guys come over.
Yeah.
You got to know what is happening in the other countries.
Sure.
What happens? What causes these people to leave their country, the place they love the most, to go and live in a place that they don't even know?
They have no idea,
Yes. You got to know.
They have to learn everything new.
Yeah, from scratch.
Yeah.
They don't know the language.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
But how come people don't pay attention to all that?
But it's better than where they were, right?
Yeah, it's better than where they were.
That's why they
it's
did.
It's much, much better than where they were. Believe me, that is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we got to push our mind back to understand, why do these people do this?
Yeah.
And is it like because of politics, or because of like they just want to come here?
Sure.
But anyway.
No, not
Let's
anyway.
move on, yeah.
I want to hear more. So I know your situation is very unique in the sense that your wife came here before you.
Yeah.
Can you speak on that?
Yeah.
Like she came here before you did.
My wife came here before me.
Yeah.
Because we were split.
Yeah.
By the immigration.
Yeah.
The immigration was like, you know what? We know you're married.
Yeah.
But you all can go to the United States at the same time. I was like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
They're like, no. She's going to go, then you'll find her. And they did not even tell me where she went.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was much later that I came to discover that she was in a freaking place called Boise, Idaho.
Boise, Idaho.
I'm like, where is that? Is that even in the U.S.?
How long was
it took
she
me
here?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. And something happened in that 2 years, no?
Oh, a lot.
Did you have a little special surprise when you got here?
Of course. I got a big party.
You got a big party?
My wife organized a big party when I got here, and I was like, "Oh man, I got to meet a lot of people,
Yeah.
and that was good.
Yeah.
That was good."
When was your eldest kid born?
Oldest?
Your eldest kid.
She was born in 2014.
And when did you come here?
2016.
That's the surprise I was talking about, brother.
Yeah. Let's take a break.
We can take a break.
We don't sugarcoat it.
I don't want to sugarcoat it. That's the point. Like I don't want to.
And we don't want to go very wild on it.
Why not?
Because let me tell you, this is what it is. We don't reveal a lot of information. We know a lot of information.
Sure.
But we don't just reveal it because of what? That. Because of the way the world is set up right now.
Yeah.
I know people out there, or the minds out there,
yeah,
who know exactly what happens in the Congo.
Yeah. Do they have power here in the United States?
They do.
They do.
They do. So let me just give you a hint of what happens in the Congo. Like what made me move from my country to here and all that.
Yeah.
Now I'm an American and I can now speak freely about it because...
Damn right you're an American.
Nobody can touch me, man. Yeah.
Damn right.
Yes, sir.
You're a freaking American through and through, brother.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, wow. One time I had President Trump bragging about his friends who do a lot of businesses in the Congo.
No, they own the mines.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, so is he trying to tell us something? Or he wants us to start digging deep?
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, these guys are big scumbags.
Yeah.
And they never want to be revealed.
Yeah.
And they just want to stay out of the picture.
Yeah.
So now you find a country that is messed up because of some group of guys.
Sure.
Who want to utilize everything they got. They got all the power. They got the machinery. They got the money.
Yeah.
They can manipulate these governments in Africa.
Okay.
And they can play around to change policies and all that. I'm telling you, these guys can mess up a whole region because they know they got the power, they got the say, and they got buttons to press. And if you don't accept what they're saying, so all that was happening, in the Congo. All that. So it is a big orchestrated kind of thing. So we came to learn about it at a very late stage. Yeah. When we started doing deep research. Yeah. And that's why all the information that we have, we don't just disclose it. Maybe one day.
If
we take it to
we're
court.
Lucky.
If we take it to court.
If we're lucky.
Or maybe if we're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shall reveal it. Maybe we shall reveal it to our kids.
You should.
When they grow up, they'll be like, "Oh, this is what happened." This is
100%. Yeah, that's part of passing down knowledge to your kids. Your kids deserve to know.
They deserve to know
what you know, right?
Yeah, because most times all my kids are born here.
Yeah,
and they're all Americans, but they're always asking me, "Daddy, we want to know where you're from." Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll tell you where I'm from when the time is right."
Yeah. Yeah, now, my question there is, do you feel safe enough to take your kids back to where you're from currently?
In the town, yes.
In the town that you're from? You do?
Yeah, I do. But in the outcasts, no. Yeah. Because there's a lot that happens in the outcasts.
Sure.
But in town, yes. Or in the capital city, in Kinshasa, yes, I can. Yeah. In the town of Bukavu, yes, I can. Okay. Because, I'm from the town of Bukavu. Yeah. Yeah, and I can take my kids there. Okay. Because you can just land in Kigali and then you take another flight to Bukavu and you'll be good. Yeah. So
I was just curious.
Oh yeah, it's easy.
I was just curious.
It's easy, but I've not done it.
The situation there is in a place where you feel comfortable to take your kids.
Yeah,
So
right now it is.
yeah,
But there are some remote areas where really everything is so crazy,
it's still bad.
bad, very
Yeah.
bad. I can't even try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can try. Imagine we would love to go see the gorillas in the mountain,
Yeah.
like the Rwenzori Mountains,
Yeah.
or maybe gorillas are big, big creatures to see.
Sure.
But I can't go there because I don't know whom I'm going to find there. What if I encounter
Wow.
some crazy rebels there and then
Yeah.
they hold me for ransom? What am I gonna do?
So my question, I'll reiterate it.
Yeah.
How did the rebels come to be in the Congo? Like, was it a result of others coming over from the Rwanda conflict, or was it locals having a problem with them coming over, and then them wanting to retaliate that has caused all these issues? How is this dynamic? Like, what happened there?
So actually, the rebels coming to Congo was it's like a setup
Okay.
because these people, you gotta know, these people were running away from a genocide that was happening in their country, in their motherland. So when they crossed over to the Congo side, then they had the other opposing group, the Tutsis, coming to chase them in the Congo.
Mm.
And when they chased them in the Congo, it created a big mess.
Mm-hmm.
And so that big mess is what is really happening up to now.
Okay.
Because I wish they thought wise not to do that. I wish they were like, okay, maybe when they come back, we shall always see them, or we shall identify them, or we shall know who they are and stuff like that. But not crossing over to another country and causing havoc in another country. And then that havoc alone created a big mess in this other country.
Yeah.
Until they even reached the moment of even ousting the president in place. The president used to be called Mobutu. And then they fixed their own government with a long-term rebel of Mobutu who used to oppose Mobutu.
Okay.
So he aligned himself with the force that was coming from Rwanda and Uganda.
Okay.
And then he was called Kabila.
Kabila.
Yeah, so he was installed into power and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Then short while he died because he did not honor the agreements that these guys had gone into. Like they wanted to control the country and all that kind of stuff. And he was just supposed to be like an overseer or maybe a supervisor. So he didn't want that. And when he opposed them, they took him out.
They took him out.
Yeah, so when they took him out, they put his son. Other people said, no, maybe he's not his son or whatever. Maybe it's just, those things, arrangements.
All right.
So
interesting arrangement.
Yeah. So this guy, they put now the son was called now Joseph Kabila.
Okay.
And this guy was in power for 18 years.
Wow.
18 crazy years.
Yeah.
And nothing changed in that country.
Nothing changed.
Nothing completely. So we had already run away and we knew what was happening in the Congo, but we had already left the Congo.
Sure.
So, and that was it.
All right.
So let me tell you, it's a long story, but believe me, we now do what? Like we recall what truly happened.
Yeah.
And we keep gathering some more information from people who lived even more scarier experiences than we did. And we're like, oh my God, you had to go through all that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all in all, we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing great.
We're doing great, baby.
I love it. I freaking love it, brother.
Yeah. And once you have that story, it builds up your confidence.
Yeah.
Builds up your personality.
Yeah.
It builds up your you being, like your human being.
Yeah.
Because I've seen what things happen here, how things happen here, and how delicate people can be here.
Oh, really?
People can be very delicate here.
People can be extremely delicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you've never seen shit.
No.
You're just acting like you know a lot, but you don't know what happens in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
So when you see people don't think
Yeah.
that these are just, you know?
Well, I think a big part of it is the lack of experience, the lack of exposure.
Yeah.
Right? Like they've never been anywhere, they've never done anything. They don't know what happens in other parts of the world, so they just have what they see here, and they make the assumption that every other part of the world is just like here. So if something bad happens in another part of the world, then it's the biggest travesty they've ever seen because they don't understand that other parts of the world are completely different than here. No other country, like, well, there are some countries, I shouldn't say no other country, there are some countries that are just like the United States that operate the same, that have the same type of things going on, same type of freedoms that we have, all this kind of stuff. But for the most part, the majority of the world does not operate anywhere close to the way the United States operates. Yeah. And that's the fault of not being educated, I think.
Or maybe sometimes I call it indoctrination.
Indoctrination, yeah.
Because believe me, people just don't want to learn.
They don't.
People don't want to make research or to discover how other places are.
They just want to hear what they hear on TikTok, right?
No, they want to hear from what the politicians tell
or
them.
the politicians, yeah.
Yet they don't remember that the politicians are just there for feeding their agendas.
Yeah.
They want to know, they want to do their thing.
Yeah.
And they want people to believe what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it is crazy. Yeah. And I believe, this year we're going for elections, right?
Yeah. It's a big one.
It's a big one.
It's a big one.
It's a big one.
It's a very big
one. The other day I saw this guy. I saw this guy mumbling. I was like, oh my God.
The other day or every day for the past 3 years? What are you talking about?
I was like, is this the president of the United States for real?
It surely is. Well, and then there's other, I won't dig into conspiracy theories, but, there was a talk about a certain individual who was president before.
Yeah.
Who he was vice president for. That might be actually pulling all the strings right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's a little conspiracy theory. We won't dig into that, but...
Oh, my God.
We won't dig into that, but...
We shall not go into
but I think the individual who is in place right now, who is currently the face of our presidency, is not actually running this country, because we've all seen it.
Yeah. We've witnessed it.
We've witnessed it.
Yes.
He can't coherently make a sentence, let alone make wartime decisions or peacetime decisions or anything along those lines. That a president has a multitude of responsibilities, and he can't comprehend.
Hold out to that.
I mean, there's a video of him where it looks like he shit himself.
Oh my.
It literally, the dude looks like he's shitting himself. I mean, I'm sorry for my language, but he literally stands there and does this.
Freezes?
Freezes, squints his face down, and it looks like he's shitting himself.
He's old!
He is! And look.
He's old.
We all get old.
Oh, no.
We all get old, man.
Let me tell you the funny part.
But the fact that he's still trying to go into the next year.
Oh
my God.
So, you know what? Actually, even me,
Come on.
I was still wondering about that.
Come on.
Because if you're falling all the time, you're tripping all the time, you don't know where you're going. Even when he's walking.
Yeah.
Everything is wrong.
Yeah, he's not stable.
And we have to be very hysterical or maybe very not looking
Yeah.
to say that this guy is stable
We all,
or strong.
we all need to be more critical.
But you know the funny part about this is the funny
I
part
can't wait
about
to
this
hear it. I can't wait to hear it. Please tell.
is that if he's out, then they're bringing us Kamala Harris.
Which would be far worse. Which would be far worse. Yeah.
Which,
Yeah, unfortunately.
yet,
Yeah.
you know, we can't stand that.
Yeah.
This platform is called Amefrica.
Yeah.
And we opposed in Africa.
Yeah.
Let's say one part. In Africa,
Yeah.
we opposed Kamala Harris
Really?
for coming to Africa and start telling us all this bullshit
Yeah.
of like.
Did you see the video?
Yeah,
where
I
she
saw the
went to
video.
Africa,
Yeah.
and they were chanting
saw the
against her,
videos.
and she's sitting there
She's clapping.
like going
I'm
along.
like, so do you think people don't know those languages or what?
Yeah.
So it was funny. But you know what? It's so crazy that we don't have a good chance right now in this presidency.
Yeah.
And even, well, I love all these guys because they've showed us a lot of competence.
Sure.
Trump has showed us a lot of competence.
Yeah.
Biden, he showed a lot of competence, but then he aged very fast. I don't know what happened.
Super fast.
Yeah, I don't know what
Super
happened. Either they
fast.
were injecting him, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, I mean, I think he's getting injected now. I think
Yeah.
I think the natural course of life hit
Yeah.
him,
Mm-hmm.
and it just caused a lot of issues. And
Yeah.
now, you know, he was a competent individual. You know, back in 2016
Mm-hmm.
and 2020, maybe in 2020. I don't know. But I think the big thing is something I'm looking at my notes. I think what I want to talk about is safety. Safety in the United States versus, you know, safety in other countries.
Oh, yeah.
How safe do you feel here versus how safe you could be potentially in other countries? Now,
Can I shoot that question to you first?
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
So I have kind of a mixed answer, I guess. So being prior military, having been in Afghanistan, my view of safety is a little bit different than the normal citizen. I think that we are in the biggest turmoil as far as safety goes that we've ever been in.
First of all, thank you for your service.
Oh, of course.
But I don't like
Appreciate
that.
it.
I don't
Yeah.
like that phrase.
Yeah.
I say it, but I don't like it.
I you know, and I come across it a lot.
Yeah. The only thing I can say is,
You know, I used to come back with when I was active is thank you for your support.
yeah,
You know, I just it's a tough one to have like a response to,
Yes,
right? Like
uh-huh.
thank you for your service. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, well,
you've
I
seen
did
people.
it because I really, really wanted to do it. It wasn't like I did it because I wanted the gratitude for it, right? Like it was something that, you know, when I was 17, I didn't want to go to college, right? I didn't want to continue schooling. It's not that I was dumb. I don't think. Maybe I was, but I feel like I was on the upper end of my school and I could have gone on and I could have pursued an education, but I chose not to.
Yeah.
You know. But I really wanted to do something that I could later on in life just feel really good about. You know, whether it ended, you know, we were in the middle of our 20-year war. It was 2009 when I joined. So we were in the middle of it, and I just felt like I just needed to do that. I needed to put myself out there, like being, obviously not being born of this country and having a lot of ties to it.
And
I
serve
I
this
needed
country.
to serve. Yeah, I needed to
Yes.
give back to what was given to me.
Yes, sir.
So I needed to give back. I needed to do what was asked of me at the time, and so I chose to serve, and I was airborne infantry, which was so much fun.
Oh wow.
Minus the fact that I was deathly afraid of heights, which was a
Dang.
fun thing that ended up leading to me getting medically discharged, I believe,
Yeah.
because I got medically discharged for a heart issue,
Yes.
which, if you jump out of a plane at 1,000 feet enough times, your heart
Yeah,
might
your
explode.
heart. Yes.
So yeah, at a
Oh my
thousand
God.
feet, you can see the people on the ground, and it gets a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have that rope.
Yeah, there's no rope. There's no rope. So the good thing is when you jump out, your parachute gets pulled for you. You don't have to pull
okay.
it. So,
Dang.
but yeah, I mean, going back to safety, I view safety a little differently. I view safety in like a large scale. I try to view safety in a large scale, and I try to view it in a town, a community. And that's something that I'm super grateful for here that we have is that we have a super, super close knit community,
Yeah.
and we have a super close knit area where everyone looks out for each other. So that alone like gives me a good safe feeling in my own
You
home.
mean here in Idaho?
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not only just here in Idaho, but in the town, like in the area that I live, right?
Okay,
Like,
okay.
it's just I just feel super super comfortable there. However, I grew up in California, and
Oakland?
no, not Oakland. I grew up in Ventura County, and
Okay.
it is a different. There's no safety. There's no safety.
Oh my God.
Your chances of being
Shut up.
not shot. I mean more of just mugged and your house broken into. Like it's just high, right? Like
Oh my God.
the chances of those things happening are high, and it I feel like a lot of it has to deal with population sizes,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
the bigger the population,
And the policies.
yeah, well, you're also not wrong there. Yeah, the policing there is minimal, right? So they cut back a lot on policing to give to other resources because that was the agenda, right?
Defund the police.
And so what do criminals do? Criminals pay
They take
attention to
advantage
politics
of that.
too.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like they don't just ignore politics and they're like, oh yeah, we need mental health things. Yeah, and criminals are like, yeah, maybe I should go seek mental health. No, they're like, no, they just took half the police force off. I can get away with the crime a lot more now, right? So, so as far as being safe in the United States, it's not what it used to be. We aren't the strong country that we used to be.
Yeah.
Back in the 60s, it was like, back in the 40s, back in the 20s. I mean, like during the two world wars, like it was, we are the strongest nation in the world. Right? And we were the safest nation in the world at that time. Like, that's why everyone wanted to come here.
Yeah.
Right? And then as time passes on and we allow this woke, like
Crazies.
just abide to the less than 1% agenda to come along,
Yeah.
it's really caused a massive rift that has allowed criminals to get away with what they want to. And then even through the court systems, like they're like, oh, well, we know you've raped 3 children up to this point, but you want to be a woman now, so we're going to put you in a woman prison. That's the thing. That happens. Like, how safe can you feel when that's our justice system? Like, not only that, but they give shorter sentences to repeat criminals, and they release repeat criminals.
Oh yeah, and that's why you
many-
see whenever there is a big crime,
Yeah.
you hear this guy has been convicted for this and this and this. I'm
Yeah.
like, then
He's been convicted for 3 different, like hardcore,
Yeah.
like not, I mean, like aggressive crimes, right? And they've been convicted for them. They've been jailed for them, but they released them.
Oh, let me give you a typical
because
example.
they're full.
Let me give you a typical example. There's a family right now. Like there's a lady with her husband. They were visiting San Diego, California.
Oh yeah.
And the lady, there came some goons who wanted to really jump her and steal her belongings. And then they stole, well, as they were trying to steal, there was a scuffle.
Yeah.
And then, as the husband was coming to rescue and all that, they wanted to take his watch and all that kind of stuff. Then, these guys wanted to take off, like run away. There was a runaway vehicle. Do you know what happened? These guys jumped into the vehicle and ran over this woman.
Because they don't care.
And this woman was from Australia. They were just doing vacation. Yeah. So that story blew up in Australia.
Yeah.
It's a recent story. It's like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so crazy.
Do you think we're gonna have tourism? Do you think
do you
think we're gonna have people visiting our country when we have so much crime?
Yeah.
So much crime.
That puts it into like big.
I mean, not only that, but we have millions upon millions
that don't get even
of people coming across the border right now.
Oh yeah.
Coming across the border. Mm-hmm. How many of them are
you don't know who they are?
Known terrorists.
Yeah,
right? Like,
most of them we don't even know who they are.
We have no idea. We're just letting them in.
Yeah.
Shoop. Go ahead. You're good. I
think
safety is something I hold near and dear to my heart. Mm-hmm. And I take every precaution I possibly can.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I try to carry as much as I can. Mm-hmm. I try to, I have dowels in my windows and in my door.
Yeah.
And, I do everything I possibly can. Mm-hmm. But at some point, there has to be some type of change at an upper level that can ensure the safety of the citizens, right?
Like, now the difference is, imagine this is happening in America.
Yeah.
And in Africa, a lot worse happens.
Oh, of course.
So, and people ask themselves, let's say, like, you want to run away from here for safety.
Yeah.
And then you go to America, and then you end up being killed on the streets.
Yeah. You get ran over.
Yes, you get ran over.
Because some guys wanted to mug someone else, right?
Just imagine
right?
That. So it is so crazy.
Crazy, man. It's so
But,
crazy.
all that is because of what? Depending on different places. I think we don't see this kind of thing in Idaho.
We really don't.
We don't.
But you also have to open it up, South Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Chicago. Chicago is a war zone.
South Chicago.
It's a war zone.
It's insane.
I've seen the videos, I've seen the reports.
There are parts of New York.
Yeah.
There are, California, almost as a whole, really.
Yeah.
Just because of the policies and procedures and everything that's been implemented there. Mm-hmm.
People living on survival mode
in California. You can steal up to something like $20,000 worth of stuff, and nobody can stop you. Cops can't be called. Nobody can stop you. You can just break into a store, steal an absurd amount of money of stuff, and just walk out. Because
try that in Africa.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah, right.
People are gonna stamp you.
Yeah. Yeah, that should start happening here.
Oh my God. You know what? There we have one common rule. Like, you come to my store, you wanna take my stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna survive.
You're not gonna live there. Yeah.
Even if you got a gun,
that's supposed to be.
You're not gonna survive.
Too. Yeah.
Because once you want to take my things I've worked for, and things that help my family and feed my family, take my family to school, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you take it from me for free.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna find who you are and I'm gonna hunt you down.
Yeah.
That's what it is in Africa. It's not like here. I always see these boys, and you know what? I don't want to be mistaken. Sometimes they want to do it like a balance kind of ratio thing, but I've seen the majority of it is black folks are the ones who really like to do that kind of stuff. Like they come, they pour into a store, and they take a bunch of goods.
I mean, there's all races doing
Yeah,
it.
all races do it,
All races
but
are
I'm telling
doing
you,
it
the
for sure.
majority. I want to be clear on that. The majority. I don't know why these guys just want to take advantage of what people have worked so hard for.
I mean, you have to think maybe it has something to do with a little bit of they felt like they deserve it.
How?
Do you?
How do you deserve?
You and I had this conversation the other day too.
How do you deserve what is mine?
Let's let the people in on this. So
you know what? We're gonna come back to this topic. This topic is gonna be a good one.
We want to go back to it.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna come back to this topic.
We'll come back to it, but it has something to do with feeling like you're due something.
Yeah.
Like people owe you, right? And
just
so
imagine.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So
one time I was in New York. Just a brief.
Yeah.
I was in New York and I was talking to some guys in Buffalo, and some guys were like, we don't like walking."
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean you don't like walking?
Yeah.
And these were black folks.
Okay.
And they're like, no, because our ancestors built this.
Oh, yeah.
So for us, we can do
they're entitled.
Yeah, because we know
entitlement.
Our people build all this stuff, so we cannot. We just want to take advantage of it. I'm like, really? Look at your life now.
Yeah.
Are you really benefiting from what your ancestors did? If you don't try to do something for yourself?
Yeah.
This conversation went so wild.
I can
in such a way that, let me tell you, we shall tap on that. Another day
we will touch on it on the next episode.
Bring another topic.
All right, so the next episode or the next topic I have here is generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are a multitude of points that we should hit on with this.
Yeah.
One, why it's important. Mm-hmm. Two, how to do it. Mm-hmm. And three, what it means to individuals that don't have it.
Okay.
Because I think all 3 points are very important. So why it's important, right? Mm-hmm. Generational wealth, like building generational wealth, being able to set up your family for the future. Obviously we can understand with how things are going right now, it's extremely hard to become wealthy. Definitely. Either you're already wealthy or you're poor as fuck right now. Like there's no middle class anymore. Like the middle class has been eliminated, right? And so most of us, the majority of us, are living in the lower end. Like we are just poor, and we're living fucking paycheck to paycheck, sucking in air, having a rough time. But the importance of being able to build that is huge, and being able to grow something for your kids so that your kids don't experience the same thing, right? Like that's the goal in everything we do as a parent, right? Like there's nothing more as a parent that we want to do than be able to make sure that our kids never experience what we experience as kids.
I have lemonade and some Jack. Can I mix that for you?
I'm good.
You good? You see that song? Now you have ice. You're just drinking ice. So,
how to build generational wealth. Now, what is your idea of building generational wealth?
For me, the best idea I would say for building generational wealth is, first of all, you gotta have you gotta have courage.
Yeah.
To start your own something. Either a struggle, either an LLC, either an entity, anything that you can start that has your name on it. Because you know what? Everything that you'll be doing there, either your kids will benefit from it or maybe they will inherit what you did, or because through that, through your struggle, and if you identify your niche and do exactly what is required, believe me, you can build a good generational wealth.
Yeah.
And like I've seen it here, the best thing that people do in building some serious foundations is creating an LLC.
Yeah.
And then from that, they start now managing. Now they start doing like managing games to manage every little thing that they're doing through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on what you do.
Sure.
Yeah, it does not limit you.
So here's my perspective. You know, having, lived here, gone through all this, obviously not very long, but in the early 1900s, it was stocks and bonds. You get stocks and bonds to build it.
Yeah.
In the late 1900s, it was property. You buy property. Neither one of those are valid options anymore.
You know what? Do you know what?
Neither one of those are valid options anymore, though. Neither one.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about, LLC?
Yeah, no, I do.
Because I've heard of what the guys owning properties are facing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the best way to really create generational wealth is to create
a business. Yeah.
Because that business is going to allow you to buy anything you want.
So essentially what you're saying is apply yourself.
Yes.
And work hard.
Work hard. Employ yourself.
And you can create something.
Yeah, create your...
a generation beyond you.
All the ideas that come to your mind.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All the ideas that come to your mind. You know what? All ideas are not perfect.
Sure.
But package your ideas.
Yeah.
If you package your ideas and let's say put them all in one box, if you create a major idea, like streamline them.
Yeah.
Make sure your ideas are like, okay, they come.
Like a podcast.
Yes. So your ideas come up, they come up.
Yeah.
And then put them all in one box.
Yeah.
And then identify a mother idea.
Yeah.
It's just like the way you do a nest.
Yeah.
Or what do you call that bee? The bee thing. The bee. Is that a nest?
Yeah.
The bee nest?
A hive.
A hive.
A hive.
Yes. And then you have a queen.
Yeah.
In the hive.
Yeah.
Right? So create your ideas and put them in a hive.
Gotcha.
And then have the queen
be the top idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's going to control all these other ideas.
Sure.
And that's how you create generational wealth. Because you have to have a
Beautiful
top focus.
Yeah.
Once you have that top focus, then now create branches for it.
Sure.
Make it strong. Create roots.
Yeah.
That are going to make sure this thing is centered.
Make sure that it has the foundation that it needs. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the world that we live in right now.
You sound like an entrepreneur, Pascal.
I try my best.
You sound like a true entrepreneur.
I really try my best.
Yeah.
The world we're living right now is completely upside down.
Yeah.
Because right now we have artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
And the AI, it has flipped the world upside down. Do you know what happens?
I believe the internet flipped the world upside down.
Yeah, it's because
it made people stupid.
Yeah. It's like, the way we used to start something. We used to start something from the ground up.
Yeah.
But nowadays, we are starting something from the clouds down.
Yeah. Because we don't have to have ideas of our own anymore. No. And that's the problem.
No. You just gotta talk to this thing and it's gonna create an idea for you.
That started with the internet, man. Yeah. The internet really ruined Creativity.
Yeah.
I believe,
Uh-huh.
personally. I believe the internet ruined creativity. The internet made it where, and the worst thing are these freaking things that sit in our pockets because, you know,
they're listening to us even right now as we speak.
Not only that, but we used to have to be like, oh man, I need to repair this certain thing on my house. Let me go figure out how to do that, right?
Yeah.
And now it's pull up YouTube.
Yeah.
And figure it out on YouTube, right?
Definitely.
And having all the answers at just in arm's reach has essentially made the world dumber. I think. Because you don't have to actually go out and discover things on your own. You don't have to actually go out and do research. You don't have to read a book. You don't.
How many people do you see in the library?
Yeah, anymore? You don't have to do any of that anymore. You just have to pull your phone out, do a quick Google search, and boom, there's 10 million answers for you right there on whatever problem you're having, and it'll solve it. Right?
Have you even tried, not even Google, have you tried OpenAI?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ask OpenAI any question.
Yeah.
You'll be shocked.
Yeah.
They will tell you everything, like every little thing.
Everything. And I mean, it's just an expansion of what we already had, right? Like, it essentially summarizes Google.
Yes.
That's all it really does is take all the Google answers that we've had for the entirety of the internet, summarizes them together, picks out which ones are good and not, I guess, in its own image, and then presents that to you. So it's like we're just getting more inventive of ways that we can find answers without actually having to do work to find answers.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's just all it boils down to.
Engineers used to be very proud, but now they're no longer.
You don't have to be an engineer anymore. You just freaking ask your phone.
Yep.
Ask AI, and boom. There you go. How do I build a rocket ship? Open AI. It'll tell you. Like, well, you need the condenser, you need the capacitor, you need you need the thrusters, you need all this and that, and it's like, oh, okay. I guess I won't have to go read a single fucking book anymore, because it's there.
It's all there.
It's just there.
It's crazy, Now imagine all this transformation. Africa is still lagging behind on this. They're trying to catch up.
Yeah.
But believe me, we still have a lot of areas where.
Well, they didn't have internet for a while.
Yes.
No,
not even internet. Power. Electricity.
Oh, even more so. Yeah.
Yes.
The infrastructure.
The infrastructure.
They didn't even have the infrastructure.
We don't have electricity, water.
Yeah.
Internet.
Yeah.
Like internet connection on all that.
It's like the place where I was in Afghanistan. There was no power. There was no sewage. There was nothing. Any of that.
Just land.
My God, the sky was so beautiful every night, man. The sky was just so beautiful. You get to see all the stars. Yeah.
The sky.
You get to see everything. Oh my gosh, light pollution sucks. Like, just see how many stars there really are out there. Oh my gosh, and just
And
I will mention.
Would you be like maybe waiting for command or something?
No, this is just experiencing the area. This is just experiencing. And I will say, I will add one thing to all of that. The people there are just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
They're just trying to live their lives.
So what messes up that country?
So Afghanistan, I don't know if you know this about them, but they've been in war longer than any other country in the world. In the world. They've been at war.
Yeah.
Just constant conflict. And most of it, none of their fault. Russia tried to invade them. Not their fault. We went in there.
Yeah.
Not their fault. Right? Like, there's just constant people trying to go in there. And they have, like we had talked about, Africa having a ton of resources. Afghanistan has a ton of resources, right? Like,
Wow.
People try to go in and just get their resources, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
the people there just want to fucking live their lives, man. They just want to live their lives, like, and they get pushed into these wars, and then they have to act on it because it's like, I mean, how would you feel? We're living here in the United States. Say Russia decides to try to invade the United States. What are we gonna do? Are we just gonna chill out? We just gonna let it happen?
We're gonna go to
no,
war.
we're gonna fucking fight back, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these are good ass people who have really, really good view on life. Like, have you ever heard of Pashtun Wali?
What?
So, the language spoken in the majority of Afghanistan is Pashto.
Pashto?
Which is a combination of 16 other languages. So when the Russians invaded, it pushed a lot of them out, and they all came back and brought all the languages that they brought from other areas back. And they speak a language called Pashto. And it's part of, so they've almost made it like a religion.
Yeah.
So Pashtun Wali is the way of the land, right?
Okay.
And where if you come to their doorstep,
and you don't know that,
it doesn't matter who you are. Like, say you personally, Pascal Bisma comes to their doorstep, says, "Hey, I need water, I need food, and I need a place to sleep." And this particular family only has enough water, food, and food for their family. They will give you their water, they will give you their food, and they will give you a place to sleep. Because that is their law of the land. That is how they operate.
What?
Have you ever watched The Lone Survivor?
The Lone Survivor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Do you know how that family took him in and sheltered? That's definitely. Because of Pashtun Wali. That's literally the law of their land. They're beautiful people. Beautiful people. Who just happen to be caught in the middle of some bullshit, right? Imagine that, right, Pascal? Dang. Imagine that. Some beautiful people caught in the middle of some bullshit. Can you not relate with that a little bit? Right?
That's too much.
Can you not relate with that a little bit? But that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, it happens all over the world. Yeah. There are beautiful people who get caught in the middle of some bullshit political, like, whatever the fuck, like,
made up war.
Just whoever the fuck wants something that you have, and they're more powerful, so they're gonna come in and they're gonna come and take it by force, right? Yeah. And the people that live there aren't gonna sit by.
That's exactly.
They're not gonna sit by and take it.
That's exactly what is happening. Yeah. That's exactly what is happening in Africa. And you know what? And it's because maybe the United States, they don't put their face out there in Africa. Yeah. But believe me, they use a lot of
they
own
the minds.
Yeah. They use a lot of guys, man. Yeah. They use a lot of informants, a lot of operatives. They use a lot. Like, they use a lot.
Yeah. And it's kind of,
it's crazy.
It's a whole different level, brother. It's
so, and you know, people level. Who don't know information, they're always blaming, or complaining, whining. Yeah. You know, sometimes I meet people maybe in a store, or maybe somewhere in the park, or maybe anywhere, because those are like public places. Where you meet people. You will just see someone just want to, like, feel bad about you. Yeah. For no reason.
Feel bad about you?
Yeah. For no reason.
For what? You're happy as shit.
And you're like, I don't know you. You don't know me. Why are you feeling bad about me?
Yeah. You're freaking happy. You're the happiest person I think I've ever met. You have such a positive attitude. I love it. Every time I come across you, I'm like, God damn it, I feel better just being around you.
Let me tell you, it's the same way. Yeah. Because I've known you for more than 2 years now. Yeah. And believe me, anytime we connect, it's on a deeper level.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah. It's like crazy connection. Yeah. And you know, I want to take you to this kind of journey.
Let's go.
So, we gotta hit something that is popping right now.
Okay. Let's hit it.
Have you heard that song? Of they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Yeah. Ping, ping, ping. They not like us. Yeah. They not like us. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that song?
Yeah. Play
They
it
know
on your
that by
phone real quick.
Kendrick Lamar. No, no, I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna play an instrumental in the background of
Okay.
this. So they know like us.
Yeah.
They know like us. They
Yeah.
know like us. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold a second.
Yeah.
They know like you. Do you put bricks?
Do you build a wall?
It's like, do you eat metal?
Yeah.
So, is your skin rubber?
Yeah.
So,
They are like us. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, if you walk on grass
Yeah.
and tarmac and concrete
Yeah.
all day long,
Yeah.
all night long,
Just like all
maybe tiles, you shit on a shitter
Yeah.
and you flush as your water.
Yeah.
The water that comes from maybe the city management,
Yeah.
you eat the same food we eat from the same stores.
Yeah.
You go to the ice cream store where we all go.
It's all about division, really.
Yeah.
It's all about
Let me tell you.
division,
Let me
yeah.
tell. Like I can go on and on. You eat the same
You know.
mac chicken, mac whatever
Yeah.
we eat everywhere. Mac water, mac juice,
We had some beautiful steaks the other
Yeah.
day together.
mac steak.
Yeah, mixed steak.
You know what? You
But-
can go
yeah.
on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Like you can cut me
Yeah.
and I can cut you.
Yeah.
We're gonna drip the same
The same. Yeah.
fucking red blood.
Yeah. It's a divisive
And
measure.
then you tell me that they know like us.
Yeah.
They know like
Yeah.
I'm like, you know like who?
Yeah. It's a divisive measure, brother.
When I heard about that song, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And imagine people amplifying this.
They do. And that's the biggest issue in this country right now.
And that's why I can rhyme with that shit.
Yeah.
I can rhyme with that shit because you know what? As long as people know, like when we go out,
Yeah.
we go out the same way.
Yeah.
They put soil on your head.
Yeah.
Everybody, they do the same thing.
Fact.
When you come out from the same place.
Hey, we all put our pants on one leg at a time, all right?
We wear the same kind of sizes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, they know like, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, it's this country has become so divisive. And it started unfortunately in 2012.
Yeah.
Or 2008 really is where it started.
Believe me, you know what?
It started then and it's been growing and growing and
Yeah.
growing. And we're bringing back the issues of the 60s.
Yes.
For what reason? Only those who are bringing it up will know. Because they want to divide so they can conquer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that is a long-term war term. Divide and conquer, right? Divide them and you can conquer them.
This is
And
Amefrica.
we're allowing it.
This is Amefrica.
Yeah.
This is America, Africa, meaning
Yeah.
Amefrica.
Yeah.
We're not gonna allow that to
No,
happen.
we can't.
We
can't
cannot.
allow it. We cannot
Because
allow it.
believe me, when I heard of all these divisions going and they are really amplified and they are given
Yeah.
a lot of publicity,
Yeah.
I was like, you can't be doing this to our children.
Yeah. Oh, they are. And that's what they're focusing on.
Yeah.
Because they're not focusing on the older generation
Yeah.
that have already gone through this bullshit and know that we're well beyond it.
It's like they're transferring the stress to the
they're
next
focusing
generation.
it on the younger generation because they want the kids to feel this type of hurt, this type of pain, this type of turmoil that they've never actually experienced in their entire lives.
Yeah.
But guess what? We're gonna push it on you so that way you do feel it. You know? And in a time in America where we have one of the worst mental health crises ever, right? And you know this. We have a massive mental health crisis in this country. We're gonna take it to our advantage, is what the politicians are doing. We're gonna use it
So
to our advantage.
they're using the whole
Using it to their
population.
advantage.
Yeah.
And they're pushing this division
And
harder than ever.
They're using these guys who have a say. Maybe they have visibility.
Oh yeah.
They're using
influencers. Yeah. People who have a voice.
You should see the mass.
Yeah.
That is following this division.
Oh yeah. And it's crazy.
You know what?
Yeah.
I can understand what these guys are doing. And if you realize it, it's like it's a big division.
Oh yeah.
I watched that video. Did you watch that video?
No, which one?
The video for that song.
Oh no.
They're not like us. Blah 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 blah.
No, I haven't.
Believe me, most of the people I saw in that video are black folks. So meaning this guy is addressing to Drake as you're white.
Yeah.
So you're not like us. And I'm like,
clearly.
So you now look at it this way.
Yeah.
I come from Africa.
Yeah.
And we have so many white folks in Africa.
Okay.
Who would never even want to come back to America.
Yeah.
They love being in Africa.
Yeah.
It's
a beautiful country. Yeah.
They've discovered a place where they can call, this is peaceful. This is okay. There's
nobody's trying to divide them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now,
yeah,
you start playing songs like that. You know, it's because, first of all, these guys, they don't want to go to Africa to see how Africa is. They are lied in America. They deceive them here in America that Africa is like a dangerous place. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You cannot go there. If you go there, you're gonna die, or
yeah,
somebody's gonna kill you.
You're gonna go to the rebels, right?
Yeah.
Like no matter where you go, you're gonna hit rebels.
I'm like, oh no. Oh, maybe they believe that Africa is like jungle.
Yeah.
Or there are no houses. Man, Africa has big cities.
Sure.
Big cities. I can put images of big cities. Let's call it from
beautiful
from
big
Kenya,
cities,
from let's say Nairobi, Kenya.
Yeah.
Tanzania.
Yeah.
Has the best beach in the whole world. Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Then we have Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a big place.
Yeah.
Then we have South Africa.
Yeah.
Like Johannesburg.
Yeah.
We have Cape Town.
Yeah.
Then coming from that place, we have Ghana.
Yeah.
Ghana, Accra. Crazy big cities.
Sure.
Then Kinshasa, the Congo. Big cities.
Yeah.
Then we go to Morocco. Or you go to Egypt.
Yeah.
And imagine if you have all those.
Yeah.
But you've never even ventured. Or you've never tried to go there.
Yeah.
And if you've tried to go there, you've gone there for like a week or two.
Yeah.
And you call yourself, I've gone to Africa. No, you've not gone to Africa.
Yeah.
Africa is big.
Yes. Africa's massive.
It's big.
Yeah.
Now imagine, this song is not rhyming with anybody in Africa. They're not like us. They're not like, no, I'm like, no. White folks are here and they're all like us.
South Africa's going through its own stuff.
South Africa had its own history.
Yeah.
Of all those things. People who came from England.
They're buying into the division right now.
It has been there for a long time.
Yeah.
It's not for today.
Yeah.
It's been there for a very, very long time.
Sure.
But you know what? It's not something we should be pushing.
No.
Today. In this modern era.
There's a famous actor who had a interview.
Yeah.
Right? With well, I won't mention the name, but there's an actor who was having an interview, and the interviewer, who was white, was like, "So, how do you feel? As like, do you think it was hard to become a successful black actor?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, I'm just an actor who happens to be black.
Yeah.
Like, you know how we get over this whole racial thing? We stop talking about it.
Yes.
We stop talking about it. We leave it alone. We let it go. Because it's not a thing anymore.
And that's the best answer.
Yeah, because we're making it a thing.
Yeah.
By constantly
Constantly
talking about this
mentioning
shit.
it.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not
Mhm.
a thing.
Mhm.
Nobody anymore in their right mind that's healthy in 2024
Mhm.
is like, oh, you're black? I guess I can't talk to you? Like, that's not what the fuck? Like, what? What?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
not a fucking thing anymore. Like, we have to
But
stop talking about
the
it.
funny thing is, it keeps happening. It is still happening.
Oh, yeah.
It is still happening, and I don't know. People have to find a way to clean it up.
People just need to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Is what needs to happen.
You know.
We need to start seeing people as people,
Yeah.
humans as humans, and addressing people as people. Like if someone's successful and they happen to be black, cool. If someone else is successful and they happen to be white, cool. Like who gives a fuck what the skin color is?
Well, what about
if they worked their ass off and got to where they were by hard work and dedication, then who gives a fuck what the color of the skin is? Like that's what we need to get away from. That's what we need to get away from.
Definitely.
And we won't get away from it until the higher organizations, the higher corporations get away from this whole DEI mentality. Have you heard of this bullshit?
I've heard of it.
Diversity, inclusion, equality, whatever bullshit. Like that needs to go the fuck away. Because there's literally companies out there that won't hire you if you're white right now. If you're white, they won't hire you.
All right. This is the Amefrica, and today we're really just talking about some serious issues, crazy serious issues.
I mean, we've gotten pretty freaking deep, Pascal.
Yeah, this is an introduction.
We've gotten into some stuff. So
this is just an introduction.
It's definitely just of what is to come for sure. And the things that we can definitely get into, we're gonna definitely dive deeper.
I'm already
into a lot of the things we've talked about.
Oh yeah.
But one other thing I just wanted to touch on before we ended this.
Yeah.
Something I like to call product of your environment. Right? It has a lot to do with has a lot to do with culture and who you're associated with. A big issue that we're finding in the United States. I'm sure it carries over into other countries, but a big thing in the United States is you're a product of your environment. So if you're born into an area or born into a family, right? So I was conversing with some other people about this, and they were talking about how let's say some individual who happens to impregnate a woman who doesn't want a kid, and then this woman also doesn't want a kid, but they decide to move forward with it, and then there's just constant conflict, and they don't actually care about the kid, and they give no attention to the kid, and they don't give any effort into the kid. That kid's gonna have a much harder time in life than, let's say, someone who, like us, planned to have our children, give them the utmost, attention, and just feed everything we possibly can into them to teach them right from wrong and all of that, so that's more or less what I was kind of wanting to touch on is just, I feel like the parental aspect of it is huge. As far as that, we can get into other things, and we will later. But right now, I feel like being a product of your environment has a lot to do with how involved your parents are. Because you can grow up poor. I grew up very poor. I grew up with nothing. But my parents gave a big fuck about me. And now I'm still fucking poor, but I care.
I know what I mean.
I mean, it sucks because normally I'd be middle class by now, but because of our current economic system. But anyways, no, my parents cared a lot, and so that's a big thing, right? Like my parents cared, so I feel like I came out really good on the back end of it. They didn't have a lot, but they cared a lot. And so I knew to work hard for more, to get more. And so, just that aspect of being in an environment where maybe your parents don't care and they're not there and they don't want to help you succeed. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I'm gonna give this straight to you. First of all, I respect you
Thank you.
for expressing your heart
Yeah,
and talking about this from your perspective
sure.
because I grew up poor too.
Yeah,
I've I've never like in my entire life I grew up to an extent where I lost my parents when I was still young, and then I struggled all the way up to the United States from Africa,
yeah,
and I had a crazy experience.
yeah,
And believe me, as we talked about it earlier, and I know what it is to
yeah,
grow up in an environment that does not serve you better.
yeah,
But you know what? I always want to say this.
do it.
Everything that you've experienced in life does not shape you.
Yeah,
Does not shape you.
that's beautiful.
Because some people believe that this is my life.
Yeah,
This is me. I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in the projects. I grew up in the like down low.
yeah,
Nobody was there to help me. Or maybe whoever was there to help me just used me and stuff like that. But believe me, it's never the end of you.
yeah,
And I always see other people who always go way out of their expectations and enter into crazy organizations.
yeah. They're
You,
successful.
yeah.
Yeah,
To be successful, they join a lot of crazy ways.
yeah.
They try just to be out of the poverty line. They want to prove that they've made it.
They want to do something.
They want
with
to do something
themselves.
very,
Yeah.
very crazy out
Yeah.
of this desperation.
Yeah,
But you know what? It's because that's the environment they found themselves in.
sure.
But
They put themselves in there.
they set up themselves
Yeah.
for failure
Yeah.
in the beginning. And then they got, you know what they call, like, in Africa we call it's like they are lying to you, but they're smearing you oil.
Yeah,
It's like they're putting oil on you,
yeah,
but I don't know the best way to put it. The best way to put it is like they're
they're just rubbing bullshit.
they're rubbing but they know
Yeah,
how much they're using you
yeah,
to get like somebody to get whatever they want. And believe me, poverty is good and it's bad.
how's it good?
Poverty is good because it keeps you authentic
Okay,
and it keeps you grounded.
okay.
And then wealth is also good, but it's also bad.
It can be very bad. Yeah,
Wealth is good if you know how to use it properly.
yeah,
But if you know how if you're like misleading
yeah,
your wealth and misleading the people around you, or maybe the people you come in touch with, no, that's wrong wealth.
yeah. Most of the wealthy people I know are actually
Yeah.
not very happy at all.
Uh-huh.
They're just miserable as hell.
They're miserable because they don't know how to lead
Yeah,
their wealth.
well, but they don't know how to live happy lives either.
No. It's because they've been involved in a lot of shit.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
When you want to create your happiness,
yeah.
you start by being contented.
Sure.
Being contented means you use what is in your means or maybe what's in your capacity and be happy with that.
Use what you need.
Yes.
And not what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because once you start going
beyond it,
beyond your reach,
yeah,
you're going to be very miserable.
Yeah.
Because not because you saw somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody has a boat, a sweet boat.
Yeah.
And you want to jump in and want to join that kind of league. You don't know how that person is managing that boat.
How did they get it?
How did they
what
get
did
it?
they have to do to get that boat?
How are they keeping it?
Yeah.
How are they storing it? How are they packing it?
So, just to bring us back to the other side of it, though, how would you say someone who grew up in an uneducated family, right? Their parents are very uneducated, living paycheck to paycheck, working at a gas station, and then they're born from that, and they really don't have anything to take from.
Yeah.
What would you say their advantages or disadvantages would be?
Well, that's a great question. Because first of all, situations are determined in different ways.
Yeah.
Because and also it depends on circumstances. It doesn't. It cannot be the same with me.
Yeah.
Like it's the same with you.
100%.
So, if you are in this kind of circumstance, let's say when a parent was really having a great hard time to raise a family, maybe single-handedly, differently from someone who just did not have any other choice and let the kids go away.
Yeah.
Abandon them.
Yeah.
Or maybe decided to move out of the city.
Yeah.
And go somewhere else and do whatever. And they're like, you come from this place. Maybe if somebody meets them, you come from this place or you have kids there. Yeah, where are your kids? They don't know. So those are parents who have abandoned their kids.
Yeah.
And that's why you always hear this saying, I grew up without a parent.
Yeah.
I grew up without a father.
Yeah.
I grew up without a mother.
Yeah.
It's because circumstances that happened.
Yeah.
For that to happen.
Yeah.
We cannot control. We cannot really control that.
Do you think?
And
do you think that they are more disadvantaged than someone who has both their parents, or would you say that their situation would be the same? It just
it's never been the same.
Yeah, obviously, personal drive comes from your environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like your own drive, your willingness and your want to do better comes from your environment. Now, if you're around a bunch of people,
I feel what you're saying.
If you're around a bunch of people who don't want to do any better, who don't want any better, who want to keep you down, who want to keep
doing the same
everything
thing
down, to keep you just running status quo.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
You know what? I would just say people are born different.
Yeah.
And it's not because you are in this kind of an environment and it forces you to live a certain way that you should just be always following what the environment is giving you. No. I come from Africa.
Yeah.
And in Africa, they say in America is a country of opportunities. Like once you go there, try your level best to create an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to be given an opportunity.
Yeah, so you're given a different perspective entirely.
No. Yeah. What I mean is,
well,
I'm coming to that point.
Okay.
Meaning is that, so your environment, if really you've never had anything like that,
yeah,
that's the difference between, let's say, me, coming from Africa, with somebody else who was born here.
Yeah.
So I have that mentality.
Yeah.
To come and create an
work your
opportunity
ass
for
off,
myself. Work my ass off like crazy.
Yeah.
And create something for myself.
Which you've done very well.
Yes. And I'm still trying.
And you're doing right.
I'm still trying.
And you're still doing right.
But you know what? There are some other people who just don't have that mentality.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why would they? Right? They supposedly live in the greatest country in the world. They were born in supposedly the greatest country in the world.
No,
right?
this is the greatest country in the world.
All right, so they were
But
born in the greatest country in the world. Right?
imagine if you're born in the greatest country in the world, and you're misusing your opportunity.
And they don't have that drive. They don't have that want because they've never been taught it. They've never been shown it. They've never seen it personally, right? Because they live in, Podunk Town, Wisconsin, whatever. I'm just using that as an example.
Any other places that is very isolated.
They live in a very isolated town, right? Where the population is 500.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody there has any aspirations. Nobody there has any dreams. Nobody there has any want to do anything. Can you see where the difference is there, though?
You know what? Dreams are not created. Dreams are made.
Yeah.
And if somebody's dreaming, they gotta go for it.
Yeah.
Because nobody's gonna tell you that this is your dream, okay, chase it.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody can tell you what your dream is. That's a fact.
So you gotta know.
But if you're never given the opportunity, I wouldn't say the opportunity.
Yeah.
I would say if you're never given I'm struggling on how to word this in the best way.
Please do.
But if you're never just given the foresight of what having a dream could do for you, right? If you don't watch movies, you don't listen to podcasts, you don't, you're just out in the boonies. You don't have internet, right? So you don't have all the answers at your arm's reach, because that's still a thing here in the United States that happens, right? I feel like personally, those individuals will struggle in a way that other people just will not understand, just because of the environment that they're in. And I'm not making excuses for them not being successful. That's not at all what I mean by that. I just mean that until they're able to see, until they're able to really get a perspective of what someone who has a dream, pursues it, and does something with it can really do, I really feel like they're just stuck in a rut, stuck doing the same thing.
But you know what? Do you know how many people have been in that situation you're talking about?
Oh, hundreds, thousands,
yes,
millions.
Yes. And that's why it's very important to come up with a solution for this.
Oh, 100%.
Because you cannot find a solution if you don't know.
Yeah.
The problem.
Well, that's kind of my point though. Like, is they don't know. They don't know. They've never seen it. They've never experienced it. They've never witnessed it.
Can we help them?
Can we?
Can we?
Can we?
Yes, we
They
can.
don't have internet. They don't have anything. What do we do?
No.
How do we do it? How do we reach them?
No.
How do we get to them?
You know what? We can start with those who have some connection.
Yeah.
Who have some internet. Who can learn something. One or two things from us. And then we can start reaching out. Because let me tell you, reaching out is the best thing. Have you watched what Mr. Beast does on, let's say, YouTube?
Yeah.
They always identify something that caught their attention, or maybe somebody learned something from them.
Yeah.
And expressed their feeling.
Yeah.
And what they do, they go there and produce.
Yeah. Make it happen.
Make it happen. So, what I see is that imagine if this reaches somebody who is somewhere in the United States or maybe in the other places in the world.
Sure.
And they come to learn about what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Because this is very deep.
Yeah.
There are so many people who are so stuck.
They're stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
They can't
get out.
They can't imagine.
Yeah.
They can't just envision themselves doing anything other than what they're doing. And then this can also be tied into, cultures that do have the internet, that do have connections, but still choose because that's their only option, right? Quote unquote only option. Where like South Chicago is a prime example. I keep bringing it up, but it's a really good example. It's a really good example. Like someone born in South Chicago, right? They're born there. They're raised there. They grow up and they're being influenced by every single gang member that they could ever imagine pushing them that they have to join the gang or they get killed.
They're going to go to Africa.
Yeah, well, like, I'm not kidding. Like, join the gang or be killed. No, it's like options for a lot of them.
So they got a third option. You know what I mean?
Do they?
Just get a passport.
That's not that easy for most people. That's a hard thing to do.
No, it's not.
It costs money. They don't have money.
What money?
What do you mean what money?
Go to the post office. They're going to tell you how much it costs.
So it's like $120 or more.
It's okay.
That's a lot of money for them. Those are bills they need to be paid.
Believe me.
I'm being the devil's advocate here. I get your side, but I'm just saying, like,
I believe you, but I'm saying
that's a lot of money for some people.
Yeah, but I'm saying is, if really you want to change your life, and you want to see the world in a better perspective, you gotta get a passport.
So you're saying if you work hard enough, you can achieve things.
Yes, get a passport, travel the world. Yeah. Like, let's say just go to another place.
I mean, getting a passport is a far cheaper option than actually getting a ticket, which costs thousands of dollars.
It's so right. When, they say where there's a will,
there's
a way.
Yeah.
So,
not everybody has the way.
We're just trying to open up people's minds.
Yeah.
So, if you find that America is suffocating your brain,
get out.
Get out.
Yeah.
And don't just get out.
Just like you did.
Don't just get out. This platform right here.
Yeah.
We're going to lead.
We're going to lead it. We're going to tell them.
We're going to tell them where they can go.
We're going to give them options.
Yeah. And they will have the best fun. And when they come back to America, they'll be like, damn, I was sleeping for a whole decade.
I love it, brother. Hey, well, let's wrap it up. Yeah. This was fantastic. This was great. A lot of fun.
This was a great.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah, it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
So it was a great beginning.
Absolutely.
And believe me, I love what you're creating.
I love what you're creating. This is good.
What we are creating.
Oh, we're creating.
Because, we said it earlier.
Yeah.
We are creating a bridge that is going to connect our people.
That's what the purpose is, yeah.
Yes.
Create a bridge.
Yes. So.
Let's create this bridge. Let's keep this going.
Let's create this bridge because, let me tell you, it's never been done like this.
Yeah.
Ever. Never anything like this has ever been done. Amefrica. Nothing like this has ever been created.
This is probably one of the greatest ideas I've ever heard. Honestly.
Let's do it!
Yeah.
Everybody who is listening to us, watching us, you know what? We're going to be fucking up here. We're going to be messing up.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing every crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But believe me, if we miss out any information, don't hesitate to correct us.
Let us know.
Yeah. And everything else that we are talking about that you really feel it touches your heart, touch down, subscribe, and share, and follow us.
And comment. Let us know.
Let us know what
you want to hear.
Yeah. Because we're all here. We are crazy determined. We are like, we smoke weed.
I don't do that, but
I don't.
neither one of us do, but hey, no judgment on those that do.
You know what? Because this kind of a duo,
Yeah.
people don't see this kind of thing on live television.
Well, they're fucking
or
going to.
maybe yeah.
They're
Or
going
maybe
to.
they've never seen anything like this.
But I mean, maybe they have. They just haven't seen this kind of
no.
connection.
They always feel like.
Yeah. Maybe they haven't seen this kind of connection.
But believe me,
yeah,
this is my brother from another mother.
This guy's family. Man.
Yes, this is my friend Black. As you well heard, his name is Stephen Black.
That's right.
My name is Pascal Bisimwa, aka B Spas, and we're bringing to you a vibe that you guys have never seen before.
That's a fact.
All right. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you so much for liking this. This is Amefrica, baby, and we are heading
out.
Yeah. They said, do you still have a drink?
No.
I ran out too.
That was so fucking good, dude. Oh my god.
Thank you, man.
Oh my god. That was so good, dude.
Oh yeah.
That was so good.
Yep. I told you.
That's literally what I had in my mind of it being.
Yep. I told you.
I had this like in my mind for so long, ever since we started talking about it. I'm like, dude, this is what it's gonna be. Like Pascal's gonna fucking talk about a bunch of good stuff, and I'm just gonna be there to keep him in line. That's literally what I visioned it as. I was like, I don't need to talk a lot. I just need to keep Pascal going.
But you know what? We all did great.
Oh, dude.
We all did great.
You did fantastic.
Dude,
I'm proud of you.
We went for 2 hours, bro.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
That's nothing, brother.